There we go. That's the right button. Good afternoon. Anyone that is joining me, hopefully in the chat, you can let me know it's all working and you've got some audio and stuff as well. A bit like the last one, I'm looking for some people to hold me accountable and actually focus on one thing for more than 30 seconds before getting distracted by something else. So what I've got here to play about with this afternoon is an ESP32-cam, which is a little board which is actually pretty reasonably priced. So what it is, it's a tiny little ESP32, which is a microcontroller, a bit like the Arduino kind of thing. It's a bit like that, but it's a little bit more powerful in that it's a 32-bit thing. But yeah, it's that's reasonably powerful. So it's got a Wi-Fi thing on it as well, just to show kind of how cheap we're talking. There you go, £7.82. That's where I got this from. But it's, yeah, it is not an expensive board at all. And the so it's got Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth, it's got a little camera on it. So I will bring up the microscope and then you can see, and that worked as well, which is nice. So there is, if I can get this about right. So there is, I'll do that bit and then you can read it. There we go. In ESP32, so it's got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so that's kind of on its own little board there. And then the ESP32-cam is like a open source. I think it's vaguely open source anyway. This kind of the rest of this board around it with the headers and voltage regulators and LED and a button and things like that to make it a bit easier. And then on the other side of it, it's got this little SD card holder so that you can have micro SD cards, and it's got this tiny little camera on a zero insertion force connector. So that's relatively simple. But yeah, for £7.82, I thought that seemed like a good thing to have a play about with, and just see what it can do. I haven't exactly worked out what I'm going to do with it, but I thought I'll try and actually get it connecting to things and seeing how easy it is to actually get it to do anything, and then kind of go from there. So for that, I've got an FTDI adapter, because as you'll notice there's nothing on here that's got a USB or anything like that. I mean, if you get it programmed, then you could use the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to reprogram it, but you need to get it to a state where you can do that in the first place. So I'm using this little FTDI adapter, which I can show you again on there. If you haven't seen an FTDI adapter before, it is just a little chip there, made by FTDI, and hence why it's called that. And then it's got the micro USB on one end and some pins on the other end for connecting up. So that is kind of the first plan, is to get this in a state where we can actually connect to it and have it doing something. But yeah, give us a shout in the chat if you can actually hear and see and if it's all working, because I don't know. Yeah, let me know. There we go. Right. So first thing I'm going to do is to, that's the one you want, on the FTDI adapter. In fact, I will show you again, and let's just focus that in so you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. So on there you can see there's the ground, volts out, volts supplied, the TX and the RX. So I will put some things on there. So I'm going to put on there. So I will put the ground to ground onto this black one. I will put white onto TX and grey onto RX on this side, like so. So I've got a bit further back. There we go. Ground TX and RX that way, and then I would do unhelpful. The same on the other end. So there is the black was the ground. And grey and white, which before I had grey as being the RX, so on here grey used to be the TX. So U0 T, U0 and if I'm not much mistaken, have to short there's a pin that you have to short, which I think is IO0 to ground, to tell it that it's in flash mode, if I'm not terribly mistaken. And then I will use this one that I've got remaining to go from 5 volts to the 5 volts that this puts out when I plug it into USB. And that's my 5 volts USB. Afternoon, Fraser, how are you doing? And hopefully that will be in a mood to actually talk to me. So I'll bring up the Arduino and see if that wants to do anything. Let's see. Boom. I'll just get this so that you can see what's going on as well. That should go there. One of these. There we go. And there we go. And hopefully see what I'm doing there. So first thing I'm going to do is just bring up one of the basic ones for this board. So I've already found ESP32-cam on there. Bring up board example. So these are all the kind of example codes that people have written for this particular board. ESP32, no. I want the camera one. Over there, do this. Oh, there we go. That will do. Don't know if you can still see that. I might have to close that. There we go. And this is not one of them, so I will comment that out and uncomment one of them. I'm going to use the hotspot on my laptop, so I'm going to find the SSD for this, which is just Frank, and I can't remember what I set the password for this, and I'll probably change it anyway. Entertaining. So it looks like turning on the Wi-Fi hotspot turns off the Wi-Fi. That's exciting. But it's all back now. But yeah, I've changed the password, so I need to change the password in here. Yep, cool. Let's compile that. The exciting bit, watching code compile. But yeah, looking around, there's some interesting things people have done with it. I'm gonna see if I can get it being an RTSP source, if nothing else. Anyone? Is it still working, or have I broken it by turning the hotspot on? When that actually feels like getting all that together. We'll see if it actually works. Check this is on. Yep. It's all good to go. So we've got the really exciting content that you've tuned in for here is a bit of code compiling ready to load up onto a board. But we've got the board connected up, so it's there. Got it, I think, pretty sure it's communicating. We'll find out shortly. But yeah, it's there and it's all ready to go. So it's all plugged in, wired up through the FTDI board. And I've just taken the example sketch and oh yeah, there we go. This is going to take the camera and provide a little kind of web page on here. So now that's done, I can upload it. Oh, is it gonna? Gotta wait for it to load again. I thought if you compiled it first, then it would just send it, but obviously not. It compiles it again. That's very annoying. But yeah, once that's up, then it should appear up on the COM3 serial. There we go. It's doing things, which is good. But yeah, so it will provide a web page on a particular port, and it will take that web page and show the view of the camera on there, and it should also do some like face detection and facial recognition and all sorts of fancy stuff on there, which I will play around with and see whether it's any good and whether I've got any ideas for making something a bit more specific out of it rather than just the example sketch that someone's already included. But yeah, let's see if that's anywhere near doing. It looks promising. It is hard reset. Okay, let's try hard reset. I will find the button and press the button and see what happens. Where was the button? Oh, there it is. I've hidden it. Boom. Okay. It's not exactly correct. Try again. Nope. Ooh. Let's. Ah, I know what it is. It's still in because I had put it into flash mode, so this extra little brown cable that's taking one pin and putting that to there. So now, if I go back there and hit the button for that one, there we go. That still doesn't look right. Maybe. Let's give it a minute. You never know. I'm not going to hold out a lot of hope. Sigh. Let's turn it off and turn it back on again. I'll probably move that to a different COM port now, haven't I? Oh yes. Cool. That's definitely what I wanted to happen there. Well, we'll see what happens. Yes, it's definitely going to be a Frank Wank cam. Well, actually, one thing I would quite like to play around with is OpenALPR, which is an open automatic license plate recognition package, which I think sounds quite fun to play around with and just have like a load of come on, serial monitor. Oh, of course. Might help if you stick that back on there. Let's try again. not to see if people are making more than one trip a day necessarily, but just to see if I can more than anything. I went to a EMF camp, which this kind of nerdy festival that happens every other year, except it won't happen this year because of obvious reasons. There is actually, okay, it's not working. Well, that's correct. What? Oh, sigh. Why is it not showing up any boards? This is kind of nice and standard for this kind of stuff. Works the first time. So let's see, that is plugged in there. It is plugged in there. That is RX to TX, TX to RX, IO0 to ground, ground to ground, and 5 volts to 5. Ooh. That might help. See, it works better when you plug the 5 volts into the 5 volts instead of the ground. That's, top tip there. But yeah, now you can see it's actually got a light on it, which is good. Let's try again, which means I'm going to have to wait for it to do all the lovely compiling all over again. No, I did put it in flash mode, didn't I? I know what to ground, yes. Cool. Adios. Enjoy your walk. Oh, that actually, yep. Oh, that's nice. You got 2 versions of the same thing. Let's see if we can fix that. There we go. Right. Now, let's try this again. Yeah, open ALPR. Open automatic license plate recognition. Because I went to EMF camp. This must have been a couple of years ago. And there was a guy there doing a talk on license plate recognition and how that stuff all works, and he was particularly talking about how he was defeating it with various interesting ways. But yeah, then found that there's this, in fact I will show you while all this other stuff is broken. Open ALPR. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have no idea if this will even work with this board or what I'll need to do, but that's part of the process, right? To show different things and see what you can do. Oh, that isn't what I wanted. Ah, I'm an idiot. No. Open ALPR. Boom. So there's this, and then you've got the, you can pay for it and whatever, but there's also a way to use it using the API that I think is pretty free. So yeah, I don't really want to do that because I just want it to be able to run locally. Where was it? I was looking through here somewhere, and there is a way to do it. Maybe it's this one. No, that's still paying for stuff. Well, I'll have to look around on that kind of thing afterwards. Let's not show that stuff. How do we get rid of that? Fatal error. Fatal error. Seems so simple. It's on the right COM port, it's on the right board. I haven't changed anything else. That is commented out, that is uncommented. So, what have you been up to? You've been building anything interesting? You've been having a bit more success than me, hopefully. Yeah. Cool. Oh, did I hit the wrong one? Come on. Send the damn sketch. This is not going to be the difficult bit. It never is it? Easy bit's always where it gets you. There we go. So, it is writing it at least. We got stuck. Hard resetting. Now, does that mean that it's hard resetting via the reset pin, or is that I'm meant to reset it via the reset pin? I don't know. Well, I'll have a go at pressing the button anyway. What? This would be where it would help to know what I'm doing. Or to know what it's doing. What does that mean? Does it mean it's doing something, or does it mean it is waiting to be told what to do? Who knows? Come on. Is that send? Open? No. Why aren't things easy? And I'm just gonna... Right. Maybe this is what you're gonna do. This time I'm just gonna unplug that. Then I'm going to take that off so that it's not in flash mode anymore. Then I'm going to plug that back in. Then we'll see what happens here. If I hit reset, yes, no, maybe. Why is it not working at all? Like, zilch, nada. Oh, come on. Oh, is that a flash? What does that mean? So, where's the button? So now, if I find the reset button and hit the reset button, when I hit the reset button, the flash happens for as long as I hold that down. Bugger. Wonder what I could have done wrong. I may have to read some instructions, which is disappointing. Thought this was going to be fairly straightforward. Right. Maybe it isn't that pin. I'm sure that's the pin. IO0. No, I give up. I'm gonna have to look at the cheats. Right. Let's find the very, very basic random nerd tutorials video. Let's see. Yep. IO0 to grounds. I'm sure that's what we've done. IO0 ground. Yep. I mean, ground is ground, right? Doesn't matter which ground. U0. Yeah, that's definitely U0. 5 volts. That's definitely the 5 volts. Yes, that is all there. That looks very different. So, I mean, let's try sticking that back to ground. Let's just put that back where we found it. So that is definitely AI, that is definitely right there. That's definitely right there. Yes. Right, let's try a third time. So, there should be a point, supposedly, according to the random node tutorial, a point in the upload where it says connecting. Okay, fine. I don't like this. Because what random node tutorials video is saying is that when you get to that point, you should hit the reset button, physical reset button on the board. Which is not what is happening here. Why can't I auto scroll for some reason? Right, so what have we tried? We have tried unplugging it just at this point. We've tried resetting it at this point, I think. Well, I don't know, just to double check, let's try resetting it at this point. Yeah. That's all we get there. And presumably it's not doing anything. No. Let's try. Because I think what we then tried was to just unplug that and turn it off, turn it back on again. Always a good try. But no, we just still get that. Boo. And if we tried, let's say, before doing that, I really don't see how it could make a difference. But on the this tutorial, the random node tutorial, they have used. I mean, it's just those two grounds are swapped over, but grounds should be common. I mean, that's like the whole point of ground, is that it's common. So I don't see how that could affect anything at all. But just in case it does, I'll try that. So I've just swapped over 2 grounds, which shouldn't make any difference. But you never know. Something might be finicky. There might be a resistor in there somewhere. So there is the RTS pin there. So maybe that's... I don't know. Right. Let's clear that. Yeah. And that's still in flash mode because just moved that there. Let's see if that makes a difference. It's the point they're saying to hit the reset button is any second now, which it says no. That says that's bad. So let's not do that. This is just the example sketch. Why? So it's writing a ton of stuff, and it says it's working fine. I don't know why it stops auto-scrolling at that point. But so what have we tried so far? When it says the error, kind of error, not quite an error, but the message it says is something like resetting on RTS pin. Now I've tried hitting the reset button at that point, and that just doesn't work. Tried so hitting reset. I'll show you what I'm doing. Just making some notes. It's really exciting. Oh, you can't read it. Oh, maybe I have to use a different pen. There we go. Resetting on RTS pin. We've tried at this point hitting reset. Turning off and on, and hitting reset again. And still not finding the expected little message that says, oh yes, I'm now available on this particular port, IP address, whatever. So what else could we do? Could just try taking it out of. If we try just turning it off and just taking that wire out, the bit that's grounding the IO0, and then turning it back on again, and then hitting reset. What it might be doing is it might be connecting to the Wi-Fi. Maybe that's what that is all about, which is currently turned off, so it wouldn't be able to find it. So it seems like the mobile hotspot is definitely an issue. So maybe OBS is causing a problem? I don't see how that would work. Oh. Oh no. That's not what I want. So what I'm trying to do now is go to my Wi-Fi and turn back on the hotspot, but have it do it over, I imagine 2.4. Yes. Yes. Okay. So maybe what's happening here is that my wife or my yeah. Sigh. There we go. That's back at least. So now share. Oh, why not? Yes, you can. See, the reason why I'm trying to set up a hotspot is because I don't really want to be broadcasting actual SSIDs and passwords over the internet. But it's kind of hard to do. Because it's visible on the Arduino code. So I'm gonna maybe try using. Oh, is that even gonna work? Oh, funny. No, I think this is incompatible with streaming. I think this is what I've come to the conclusion, is that I won't be able to do both streaming and playing about with this stuff at the same time, because no is the answer. So I will stop streaming and leave you all to it and work it out, and if I can be bothered maybe I'll make a video, but probably not, because yeah. But never mind. Yeah, I give up. I'm gonna turn everything off and all back on again, because I don't want to broadcast a hotspot on the right band for this chip, because this chip can only do 2.4. My laptop currently only wants to do it on 5.8, and I think it's for some reason, because I can usually switch it between one or the other, but I think it must be because I'm streaming, I guess, is the only reason why it would have an issue with it. So I'm gonna give up streaming and try without streaming.